So welcome to Fleetwood in Lancashire. A very misty grey day today. It's the end of December, so not many visitors around, but the plan is today to travel down to Blackpool along the tram line that runs from Fleetwood to Blackpool. A journey of 11 miles. Here we have the lighthouse, and on a clear day you should be able to see over to the Lake District, but no possibility of that today. You can just make out a ferry on the Irish Sea. This lower lighthouse, completed in 1840. So signs of people rough sleeping here. That's a tough life, isn't it? So I'm not seeing Fleetwood at its best, unfortunately. In fact, this whole Christmas has been fairly bleak. Memorial here in loving memory of the men tragically taken in the Morecambe Bay helicopter accident in 2006. I must admit, I don't remember that. So there we can see a tram waiting to depart. Trams run every 10 minutes from Fleetwood to Blackpool, so a very regular service. And it's cost me £6.60 for an adult day pass, which is, I think, very good value. That allows me to travel the whole length of the line. And there's also a very regular service right up until late evening. And I'm hoping later on tonight to see some of the Blackpool Illuminations. So here we've got the lifeboat station. There's a ferry there. So I'm wondering if they normally shuttle people across to the other side of the river. It's not working today, obviously. A map of Fleetwood. Seems to be quite a lot to explore here. I have to come back on a nicer day. Like lots of British seaside towns, you've got a little amusement arcade here. And I believe you can get a ferry to the Isle of Man from here. Now, whether this is the actual ferry port or not, this bit looks a bit overgrown. So whether it's here or somewhere else, I don't know. Let's just have a little look towards the river. We've got another lighthouse here. Again, quite an impressive structure. The Pharaoh's lighthouse, lit on the 1st of December 1840. Some quite grand architecture here in Fleetwood. This is the North Euston Hotel. There's some nice gardens here as well. Again, sort of got to imagine it on a nice bright summer's day to fully appreciate it. So these modern trams were introduced, I think, in 2012 and run between Blackpool and Fleetwood.
Press the stop button when you wish to exit the tram.
So I haven't chosen the best day to come to Blackpool. You can see it's misty. In fact, that's the Blackpool Tower there, and the top of the tower is in the mist. This is the North Pier. I don't know if it's open actually. So I've just passed the sign saying that the North Pier is actually closed for the winter. Seaside resorts in the winter are fairly bleak places, to be totally honest, especially on a day like today. Still quite a few people around, making the most of the last Saturday of 2024. If you fancy getting married in Blackpool, they've got a wedding chapel. Signs of confetti on the ground over there. So Blackpool, I think, is unique in the country in having three piers: North Pier, Central Pier and South Pier. Here are some of the illuminations that they've got along the promenade. Tell you what, it's bitterly cold. So unlike the North Pier, this one is open today. No, thank you. Cheers. These people trying to earn some money on a day like today out here. Can't be much fun for them. There are two tram depots here in Blackpool. There's the modern tram depot in Starr Gate, which I'll go to in a short while, but there's also the old heritage tram depot, which I'm going to see if I can go and find. I won't be able to get into the depots, but I'd like to go and see them anyway. So I think it's not far from the central pier that I can find the heritage tram depot, so that's where I'm on my way to now. So there's an old tram line running along this road, and you can see where the wires used to hang on the pillars. But obviously they've been doing a lot of work here, building new estates. In fact, I think I need to go around here somewhere, find my way around. So that's the corporation's tramway building, and the tram line obviously used to run this way through this new housing estate. I'm assuming it's no longer going to do that. And this is the tram depot. So here we have the heritage depot. Blackpool's famous for its heritage trams, but the modern trams have sort of taken over most of the route, but the heritage trams do still run certain times of the year. In fact, you can take a heritage tram all the way up to Fleetwood. It's what I did a while ago. Tramtown. And it's possible we might see some heritage trams running later tonight when the Illuminations come on. I believe the Illuminations run until the 5th of January. So they've extended the season, and it obviously looks possible to have depot tours at certain times of the year. That would be certainly something worth coming back to do. That'd be interesting. But there you go, a view into the depot. So this tram depot has been in operation since 1885, making it one of the world's oldest tram depots apparently. Anyway, we'll make our way back to the front and continue the journey down to the end of the line. Although Blackpool has a reputation for being a popular tourist town, it is also a place that is known for having lots of problems in terms of drugs, unemployment and so forth, and you only need to walk away from the front to see that. In fact, I'm just around the corner from the depot and you can see some of the state of the buildings here, old hotels. So it does have a reputation. I think life expectancy in Blackpool is one of the lowest in the country, but that's a different video to the one I'm making today. Main purpose of coming here today is just to ride on the tramway. So I'll see if I can find the next tram. So lots of hotels and B&Bs here in Blackpool. I suspect a lot of them are pretty cheap to stay in as well. So I'm continuing to walk south, heading towards the direction of the South Pier, and in the distance the Pleasure Beach. You used to be able to walk around the Pleasure Beach for free, but now you have to pay to go in, and all the rides are included in the cost of admission, which is a shame really, because it used to be quite fun walking around the Pleasure Beach, looking at the rides, even if you didn't want to go on them. So here we have the map of the route. So I'm currently at St Chad's Road, so not far to the end at Starr Gate, but you can see there's a lot of stops all the way up to Fleetwood, which is where I started from. And the last tram from Fleetwood is 11:45, getting in at just before 1 AM. Monday to Friday only, Monday to Saturday only. But no, so you can see it's a very regular service and also very affordable. We've got a tram heading north. So the plan now is just to go to Starr Gate, have a look at the tram depot there just from the outside, and then make my way back up to the centre of Blackpool.
Please. This tram is for Starr Gate. Next stop, Burlington Road West.
So here we are, the end of the line, Starr Gate, and this is the new terminus for the trams, the main tram depot. So the Blackpool tramway was opened in 1885, making it one of the world's oldest tramways, and it is one of the very few tramways in the world that still uses double-decker trams. That's their vintage trams that they use. The other two places that use double-decker trams is Alexandria in Egypt and Hong Kong. The oldest electric tramway in the UK is the Folks tram line. I think that's in Brighton, and that opened in 1883, so 2 years before the Blackpool tramway opened. And this is now the depot for the trams, or for the main tram fleet, the modern tram fleet. So we're just going to have a little wander down to the beach. Very wide sandy beach here, especially now that the tide is out. Probably quite a nice place to spend some time on a warm summer's day. That's looking to the north towards the Pleasure Beach and Blackpool Tower, and looking south to Lytham, St Anne's, although to be totally honest you can't really see much on a day like today. So I've just been reading online about the history of the Blackpool tramway and was very surprised to discover that this month, December 2024, the heritage tram fleet has been suspended indefinitely. Apparently, I think it's problems due to maintenance, movement of trams and so forth. But if that's true, that's incredibly sad, because the heritage trams are one of the main features of this tram line, and as great as the modern tram fleet is, the heritage trams are what make this line very special indeed. So I wonder if we've seen the last of heritage trams here in Blackpool. The other piece of news I discovered is that they have extended the line just a small amount. Again, earlier this year, when they created an extension to the Blackpool North Railway Station. So they have extended it, and there are even talks about extending it further in the future, but whether that will happen or not, I don't know. But anyway, here we have a view of the Starr Gate depot behind me and the current terminus of the tram line. They have talked about whether it can be extended to Lytham St Anne's, which would be great, but we'll see. So I've been reading a little bit more about the suspension of the heritage trams, and it seems to be that it's becoming increasingly complex to run a heritage tram service alongside the modern trams, and there's concerns over safety and so forth. So this is the reason they've suspended the heritage trams. Hopefully it's not a permanent suspension. Hopefully they'll find some sort of solution to continue to run these heritage trams. I do wonder whether that means that we won't see any of the heritage trams lit up in lights tonight, because that's again one of the features of the Blackpool lights. It's now about 3 o'clock, I think, and the lights, illuminations come on about 4:30, so hopefully not too long to wait and see the illuminations and then jump on the tram back to Fleetwood.
I know, yeah, it's cold. You're just wandering to keep warm.
Tokens now from the play box if you're riding. Come on.
Sorry.
So here we are, coming to the final section of the Illuminations as we head north. I thought I'd get off the tram and walk past these instead of just watching them from the tram. The one thing I haven't seen since I've been here is the illuminated trams which they used to have, and I think that's because of the suspension of the heritage service. That includes the illuminated trams, which is a pity. I suspect that lots of these illuminations are put up each year after year. I don't know if they get changed very much. I seem to recognise some of them from previous visits, unless they've got a whole selection of illuminations that they rotate from year to year.